speaking at a time. And what I was going to say is that you've opened yourself up quite substantially. You've made a very bold claim. What you've done is you've made the error of agreeing with Dr. Z that when the Quran says, produce a surah like it, min mithlihi, it doesn't mean a surah like it. It actually means create shit, like make a planet, make a galaxy, make a mountain. That's a very, very, very dangerous road that you've decided to tread on, Junaid. But you can tread on it from the audience. We will let your imama, Miss Dr. Z, she can substantiate her claim. Now, she said she can't demonstrate that.
Excuse me, Matthew. I am a dogmatist.
No, Ilyas, go ahead. Ilyas wanted to say something, so let Ilyas make the point, and then we'll get back to you, Dr. Z.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Should I recite?
Yeah, in the name of your Lord.
No, because Dr. Z is not.
I'm not.
She has changed.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Yes.
Your Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim sounded extremely weak and non-convincing. Very, very. From the get-go, I can tell it's very weak and non-convincing. You got to try harder, Ilyas. You got to work harder at it, man.
Okay, let him try.
فضرب الله مثلا كلمة طيبة كشجرة طيبة أصلها ثابت وفرعها في السماء ومثل كلمة خبيثة كشجرة خبيثة أصلها صامت وفرعها في الأرض.
What rubbish, Ilyas. Are you kidding me? Well, good attempt. Good. You have to keep trying harder. Ilyas.
Dr. Z, do you think if
that was from the Quran though.
Dr. Z, if Ilyas recites 5 verses, do you think that he'd be able to distinguish whether or not they are verses of the Quran or not?
Oh my God, man! That
even
was
I, the atheist, recognized. Oh my God! Did you understand what just happened, Matthew?
Yeah.
Did you? He read the actual Quran, and she's like, "That's rubbish."
Yeah, I know. I want to know if she is going to understand even 5 verses. That's the point.
No, translate the verse, and you guys are making a joke out of it.
She's so
saying,
good. She's unique.
You guys are making a joke out of it, saying that you can produce a chapter like Quran, right? Whereas the challenge is not producing something like Quran. Bro. In the language, the challenge is produce a word like Quran. Produce the kalima. What is kalima? What does kalima and word mean? It means ayah. It means evidence. It means sign.
She's a queen at this. She's unbelievable. Like, she never quits.
I'm okay. Fine.
She's forever. Dr. Z,
like, how can you
thinking?
Keep wishful thinking, Matthew.
Can we just agree with the fact that what this?
Keep wishful thinking.
How'd you go to sleep and just think, yep, today was a good day?
Keep wishful thinking, Matthew.
What do you mean wishful thinking? Dr. Z, you're lying to yourself.
You can produce an ayah like the Quran, or you can produce one word like Quran.
If you tell Dr. Z that this is by
Ilyas, now I'm trolling Quran. Yeah, keep trolling.
You literally just called the Quran rubbish, bro. You need to do something. I don't know. You need to go
No, I don't know I don't know the way he was reciting. It just didn't seem right.
Dr. Z, come on, man. That was honestly, Ilyas, good play, man. You did this really perfectly, honestly. So it shows how biased you are, Dr. Z. I'm sorry, but that was
It's not about bias. It's about the joke they're cracking up.
Dr. Z, stop.
They're thinking.
Dr. Z, you know what? When you keep telling us, you keep telling me that, the way that I look at the Quran is so superficial and it's so this. You know why I do the things I do and we say the things we say? It's because I'm getting you to face yourself in the mirror. Pick up the mirror. There are so many times when we've said things, we then substantiate it, and then you initially reject it, then you shift the goalposts, then you bring up a new claim, and you do this all the time, Dr. Z. Now,
this is not the new claim that
Dr. Z,
this is the claim.
Dr. Z, listen
This is
to
the
me.
claim of Quran.
Dr. Z, I'm giving you brotherly advice at this point, right? From a human to a human. right? It doesn't matter if I'm Muslim or Kafir or whatever. Right now, this is just not good for you. When you act in this kind of denialism, this kind of cognitive dissonance.
What is the denial?
It's really destructive.
Tell me what is the
because you're
what
positive.
Is the denial?
Okay, because you continuously shift the goalposts. The whole claim.
What is the denial
because you're making a
challenge
claim.
I just mentioned.
Yeah, because you're making a claim about firstly, you've done two bizarre things. The first thing was, within like 10 minutes, the first bizarre thing was, you're basically saying that the Quranic text, which you in other rooms say is the most precise document in human history. You said this time and time again. It doesn't use words where it doesn't need to. It doesn't use superfluous words. You're basically taking something that is commonly accepted, and fine, I don't mind if you have a different conception, but it's just not consistent. If you're saying that where the Quran says, produce a surah like it, okay, min mithlihi, like it, you're saying no, what it actually means is not produce a chapter like it, produce a galaxy like the author of the Quran has, produce a universe like it, produce a planet like it, a rock like it, a mountain, a tree. That is not the apparent meaning of the text. Now, if you're saying no, you actually have a hidden code or some kind of argument or analysis that can point to us to how you interpret the Quran, then we're all ears. But I know that won't be the case because it won't be consistent with the other stuff you said. And then you're making the point, which traditionalist Muslims also do, which is that the challenge is basically, if it's relating to the text of the Quran, it's a clear challenge, it's a precise challenge, and the parameters are objective. And yet Ilyas literally recited
I don't know what he recited. He has to quote the... I don't know if he's reciting it or is he just making fun of it. I don't know.
Okay, sure.
At this point, you both lost the credibility in front of my eyes.
You said it was rubbish.
At this point, you lost the credibility in front of my eyes.
So when you said it was rubbish...
You are cracking... Okay, go ahead.
When you said it was rubbish, what were you referring to?
I was referring to the joke you guys are playing with the Quran.
No,
that's
you
what
said,
I'm referring.
Dr. Z.
Listen, I tell you, okay, don't.
Dr. Z. No, Dr. Z.
Let me finish. You threw an accusation at me. Let me answer this.
I can't prove this, but it feels like you're lying again.
I don't care if it feels whatever it feels like to you, Matthew.
Okay, I'll ask you again. I'll give you an opportunity.
God. Okay, fine. Carry on. I just gave you the real challenge. Now come up to the real challenge and then tell me if you can produce a surah like Quran.
Think about what you want to say next. When you said that was rubbish, what were you referring to?
I was referring to the joke that you guys are playing against making a chapter and a surah sounding like making a chapter and a surah like Quran, and then.
So when you said that was rubbish, what you were referring to was not the verse that you just heard being recited by Ilyas. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, Matthew, stop being. Stop playing the games with me.
You know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Everyone here knows what you're doing.
Stop playing the games with me.
Even Allah knows what you're doing at this point.
You will lose integrity because you are playing with the Quran and saying we're gonna. Can I finish my damn sentence without
No, because I want you to tell the truth.
Okay, fine then. There's no way of communicating here because I am saying you are trying to play with making up a surah like the Quran. Right? And then you're reciting something in Arabic or in whatever language you think you're reciting in, and then you say this is the actual challenge. When I say this is not the actual challenge, and then you start reciting another. So I don't know if you're reciting from the Quran or you're reciting from something that you made up. I don't know. That is not the point, though. The point is that the challenge you think in your mind is the real challenge is actually not the real challenge. Let me just break it down for you. This is not the real challenge.
Before we go into the quote real challenge, I'll ask you a third time. When you said that was rubbish, what is the that? Ilyas recited.
Okay, excellent. I'm sorry if I apologize. I didn't realize, and this is the problem with you guys. You guys think this is a joke, but this is not. Yeah, this is a problem with you guys because you guys think this
You
is a
lying
joke.
is a problem
No,
with us?
no. You playing with the verses and then
No.
and people like no, yes, absolutely. You're playing with the
Ilyas
verses.
recited
And then
from
somebody,
the Quran.
because of you guys, I
And you
actually
lied.
fell in sin by saying the actual verses are rubbish, but
No, it's not
the
about
case.
sin. What's more important is the fact that not only did you say that was rubbish, which tells us that you wouldn't be able to distinguish between what is Quran and what is not Quran, which is fine. Many people aren't. I don't think I'd be able to do that all the time. But actually, you then lied about it in order to continue this dogma, which you're now projecting onto us. You're saying it's our problem. The very subject that we're discussing is we're discussing the veracity and of the nature of the challenge that traditionalist Muslims posit as the Quran being, immutable or irreproducible. So it seems that you've already admitted that can't be the challenge because that would be impossible. What is the framework is too vague, the definition is too broad, we don't really know what it means. You're saying something even more extraordinary, which is saying that these verses that say produce one like it is actually talking about creation.
Absolutely, it's talking about that. That's the real challenge.
Yeah.
Word of Allah is the ayah, which word doesn't necessarily mean the word. It means the kalima, the evidence, the sign, the ayah. All of it is the word of Allah. The creation, kalimat Allah is also the creation of Allah. So if you're thinking that you are going to put your brains together and produce a surah like Quran, that's not the real challenge. The real challenge is producing the kalimat Allah. Kalimat Allah is the creation of Allah. It's not the word like you translate it in a different language, give it phonetics, and then say it's or you copy Arabic and give it phonetics and say this is this chapter, this is a surah of the Quran. That's not the actual challenge. You guys focus on the superficial meaning, but you don't really delve into the deeper understanding of what the actual
don't tell
challenge
us
is.
what we do, what we don't do.
Yeah,
when
unfortunately,
your
that's the
entire
precise
belief
case.
system is just built
That's
on
the case.
your whims and desires. You don't have
It's
any
not
evidence.
my whims and
You
I
can't
have. Okay,
demonstrate what you
I
believe
can
in.
demonstrate
So,
it. I can
talk about your beliefs. Don't tell us what we do. We're providing strong arguments and evidence. You don't give a shit about that. So listen, if you want to say about your beliefs, that's fine. We will listen and we will kind of engage with it. But don't then use your insecurity about the piss poor due diligence that you do when you want to construct an argument. When you talk about things like you reject evolution, then you're like,
Matthew,
okay, actually I do accept evolution,
Matthew,
adapt exceptionism. Now you're like, this isn't the challenge. The challenge is just creation.
Can you address the issue at hand first?
No, you first need to demonstrate why.
First,
yes, you do.
First,
in order to,
the challenge
at
hand.
You're saying,
Matthew, counter this challenge at hand that this is not the challenge. Counter this challenge at hand.
No, you need to substantiate the claim.
Give me your evidence that this may not be the correct understanding of the actual challenge.
I can't prove a negative. What I can do is explain to you how evidence actually works. So when you have a particular text, the apparent reading is always going to be the default, unless it can be substantiated via other forms of argumentation that is something beyond the text that the author is intending.
If it
so
was
in this case,
apparent, why would Allah...
Let me finish.
Okay, go
Let
ahead.
me finish, let's see. So for example, in Surah Baqarah, when the verse says, and if you are in doubt about what we have sent down upon our servants, then produce a surah, the like thereof, and call upon your witnesses other than Allah if you should be truthful. Specifically, it's saying, Bisuratin min mithlihi, a surah like it. A surah like it. Now you're saying surah actually doesn't mean surah in this case, or at least in this case, it actually means creation. And the it isn't actually referring to what is being sent down, which the verse is saying is what it's referring to, but the it is basically anything ontologically in the universe. So you're making a very extraordinary claim. You need to substantiate the claim if you want to have any success at convincing anyone. If you're not interested in convincing anyone, then what you're actually saying is, not only am I not interested, I actually can't convince anyone, in which case particular challenge that you're saying it is known only to you and to anyone else that may think like you, including Junaid. Well, that doesn't sound very guidance-like to me. That sounds very kind of, this is guidance for Dr. Z and Junaid, because there's no way that I can see that you can extrapolate your meaning, your interpretation from this verse, particularly when if we were to examine your other claims about other verses in the Quran, such as, oh, surah means X, Y, Z. Because then I will ask you, well, how do you know it means X, Y, Z? So it seems that any claim that you have about the Quran is going to be not demonstrable. Talib, am I fair or not fair?
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, Dr. Z, just take the L on that one.
Listen, no. Listen to me. Listen. If you guys, first of all, if it was just about the apparent meaning of the Quran, then Allah would not invite you to use your reflective observation. Allah would not invite you to use your sense perception to understand the meaning of the Quran. So your comprehension, your intellect, your aql, your senses, all of them are invited by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to utilize it to see what? That He's the true creator. Right?
Oh Dr. Z, let me help you out.
Allow me to finish. No, hold on. Allow me
I'll
to
let
finish.
You finish, but I just want to. I will let you finish.
Please let me finish.
But
okay,
I want to demonstrate.
I'm coming on to a point.
I want to demonstrate why it's dangerous for you to continue. Can I at least warn you?
It is not. It is dangerous for your
No, I want to show you what the entailment of what you're saying is.
No, it's okay. Let me first.
You're saying that someone can actually write something like the Quran.
Oh God, Matthew, can I please finish? Listen to me. So, my point is that if you are saying that the superficial understanding of what it is saying was the only actual understanding of the Quran and the context, then why would Allah keep pressing upon using your reflective observation, your sense perception, your aql, your intellect, tafakkur, tadabbur, into perspective? Why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep kicking you over there, right? So there's a constant pattern in the Quran where Allah says, utilize your intellect. Now, if it was this easy for people to just kind of get pick up things from the apparent meaning, then why is there need for me to even excite my brain cells, first of all? Secondly, the point is that, coming back to the challenge, you're saying the apparent meaning of the challenge is that I can write a surah like the Quran. I can write it in a different language, give it some phonetics, and make it sound like Quran, and just use the verbiage, and somehow it will mean that this is the I have come up to the challenge. Unfortunately, that's not the real challenge. The real challenge is that you produce kalima, the word. What is Quran? What is surah? Surah is comprising of all the different things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put together as an evidence for us to understand that He is the creator. That's the surah. Surah is not just merely Arabic words coming together and making a sentence. Surah is much more than that. So what is the hidden meaning of the surah? What is the comprehension of the surah? That He is the true creator. How is He the true creator? By creating the things that He created. How does He create the things, and how does He invite you to look at that? He tells you, look, sense, feel, comprehend. Use your senses that He gifted you. And then come and tell me that you can produce something like this, claiming that you are the creator of the world, claiming that you are the creator of the multi-universe, claim something as substantial that He has claimed. If this is not the true challenge, please tell me what else is a true challenge in front of you. And if you still think that I'm wrong, fair enough. I cannot convince you. Allah only can give you the hidayah. Allah is the one that gives the hidayah.
Yeah, I got it. So I wanted to prevent you from moonwalking into this absolute mess that you found yourself in, but you didn't want to heed to the warning. So now I'll demonstrate why you've made such a mess out of this. You've connected the miraculousness to Allah, okay? That's fine. In your case, Allah is preserved. In my case, Allah is preserved. The mess you've created for yourself is that now this particular Quran or this particular messenger is replaceable.
Say that again. The mess that I have produced is that this scripture is what again? No. Just by hold on. Do you see the problem with that thing is that just by putting sentences together, you think that Quran is replaceable. That's your fault. That's your misunderstanding and miscomprehending the fact. No, listen, just
you've rendered it possible.
You think just by putting sentences together.
There was a robot that actually stacked pallets, like boxes on pallets, and wrapped it all at the same time and then shot it out, and the forklift driver would come and pick it up. There was a rope where people used to pack boxes and they would literally stand in the line and pack boxes. There was a case packer. That's literally, they kept it simple. It's called a case packer, and they would pick up all the items, put it in the cases, and then those cases would roll, and then there was a case filler. So instead of people pulling up,
بدنا بس السلطة. حتى الله اختصار ان ملكوت الله كله بالسلطة. بغض النظر هذا التفكير المحدود يعني. العالمين اللي انا جزء منهم وصلوا الى منظومة يصنعون فيها الرئيس. القرار في امريكا ان شاء الله مفكرين القرار بامريكا هو الرئيس اللي هو لو كان مسلم كان سميناه خليفة وسمع الوطاعة، بس مو مسلم الان. ما نفهم لو كان مسلم. الرئيس نفسه اصلا القرار يصرف عنه.
Say a setup, you might be right. But I have setup written all over it. And then here come Wasi running to the stage. Right.
What up, Wasi?
Wasi came running to the stage.
Gonna kill me. Yes.
Who's Crispy Noodles though? I don't know if I've ever met you. What's your story?
Oh, Crispy's my friend.
About Allah, or someone will talk about Allah in a style, in using the same literary.
But their concepts is saying that is the ultimate of divinity.
What
you
do
really
you
get to
Killing
level
yourself?
up.
Why don't you kill yourself right now then?
I've used, lobster. I could use shrimp. You know what I'm saying? I can use raccoon. There's a man that's eating one of those type of animals and stuff, and he's not doing that. But at the end of the day, the person that's eating the unclean animal is no different than the person that has the bad intentions that they're trying to carry out from within.
So hold on.
That's what that scripture is.
Is a certain self-grandiosity to assume that we should care. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a sidebar from the main topic we're talking about. And also, that sidebar means that you feel like your faith is more important than anybody else's here. Because all I've heard you rattle off your tongue is theories, not any actual history. You rattled off, like I said before, Darwin's theory of evolution, which is cool.
I think he's talking about the Tehran video.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Now, why on earth did Doris Magnum is adding? Who the fuck is this?
Like, I have seen Pejman in most of my friends' phones for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, Bubba, come on, dude, trying to take care of you too, bro. Keep getting famous. Send us some money,